Hello and welcome back to the Conquest Minecraft challenge. Last time we worked on the wings and the propeller. This time we'll be building the two main chimneys and funnels of the build. These will also connect to the boiler room that we'll be building later on in another episode. For this first chimney I decided to use jukeboxes. The reason for this was because of the nice textured orange these blocks have, giving the appearance of rust or perhaps copper or bronze. The colour will also contrast with the green grass of the hill that will be placed later on, as orange and green are opposite ends of the colour wheel, so it will give the build some variation and make the chimney stand out as an important feature. These chimneys will be some of the tallest structures within the build. Therefore, the last thing that we want is a straight up and down cylinder of blandness. Therefore, you can see me adding ridges and tapering effect to the funnel, giving the appearance of joints to the metal, as though it was built in sections. I'm using circles to build these. Online you can find many charts and diagrams of how to build circles in Minecraft, which helped incredibly, as circles can often be tricky. By adding or subtracting blocks from the diameter, you can create this tapering effect, which can be used in a number of builds that are not as easy as the basic cube. One of the famous pieces of imagery from the inspiration of YogMovingCastle is the washing line that hangs from the back of the chimney. I kept this as I believe that it keeps very much of the Yogscast style. It adds colour and, most importantly, humour and life to this mostly industrial build. The appearance or illusion of movement is very important within features like this, as the air would move the clothes and string of the line. And that is the first chimney done. We now begin with the second. This chimney is slightly taller and bigger than the first. It is also designed differently with a different tapering style. So I begin with a much larger circle, so to implement this. I am also using sandstone blocks, as this will differentiate it from the bronze chimney, as well as being very similar colour to my reference. With both chimneys done, I added smoke using cobwebs on top, again keeping in mind the sense of movement and function. Now, I begin to move on to building more of the living spaces of the inhabitants. I'm starting with a place for the people to chill out and have a look at the passing landscapes. This will be a nice little garden, so I start out with a basic sandstone circle base that juts out from the back, adding supports to give it a physical attachment to the pig, adding a little bit of realism. Of course, the last thing you want to do when you're chilling in the garden is to fall out of it, so I'm going round adding a railing with stairs and slabs. But as I went round, I noticed how this side looked a bit bare and plain, so I added some trapdoors to give it more of an appealing pattern. One of the nice things to do in the garden is to have a place to sit, chill out and have a drink. But being outside and on a flying pig that can travel in different altitudes and through different kinds of weather, you would need somewhere warm to cozy up to. So I added a fire and a terraced porch with a roof to keep you out of the rain, whilst keeping the front open to the elements so that you can still enjoy the open air of the garden. This structure took a bit of practicing, as I needed to get the circles right, as I wanted it to have a circular coned roof. The nether brick here will stand out against the white birch supports and walls. When building in Minecraft, sometimes it's really handy to think about the function of that place. For example, when you're building a town or city, would this particular building be a butcher, a baker, or maybe even a candlestick maker? What would the person that lives there need or want nearby? So I was trying to think about what to do with this structure. I thought that what better place in the garden to have a nice place to relax. So when decorating, I added chairs, tables, bookshelves and a small little bar. This would be an area where the Yogscast could gather round, have a nice beer or wine, have a chat and play some board games. The last thing I did was add a little small window to the otherwise plain and boring roof. And that's just about it for this episode. Today we worked on the two major chimneys that will later on allow steam to rise up from the boiler room below. We also added a washing line, as well as adding a small little place to chill out and relax after a long hard day of doing yogi business. Next time we'll be working on Duncan's tower, as well as Kim's little pagoda house. So thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.